Hello everyone, my name is Ashanya Utley, and today I will be giving a speech on financial literacy. Okay, next slide. What makes the world go round and will stop without it? Money. It is a concept that we just can't live without. Everyone has seen or touched money before. A lot of us lack an understanding of the power it has and how we can use it to our own advantage. My senior year of high school, I took government and econ, and finance became my main interest. So I started reading and researching, and my top favorite sources are the books Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad Poor Dad. After reading those books, I definitely wanted to get more into finance, so I called my uncle. He's basically like the financial advisor of my family. After talking to him, I began to open up my first credit card, a COD, which is basically a certificate of deposit. You put money into a bank account and it accumulates interest over time. And I also began budgeting more. Financial literacy is a necessity that we all need, but is rarely taught. And the lack of knowledge leaves us at a great disadvantage. Okay, next slide. According to What Do You Need to Know About Financial Literacy, the lack of being financially literate has negatively affected Americans. 4 out of every 5 U.S. workers live paycheck to paycheck. And more than 75% of them are in some form of debt and assume they will always be. The horrifying thing is that this trickles down from adults to kids. Kids tend to follow in their parents' footsteps. And if their parents are not financially educated, most likely the kids will follow down the same path. According to this pie chart, it says that 33% of Americans don't pay their bills on time. 42% of Americans rate themselves a C or lower in financial literacy. 44% of Americans still learn at home. And that 56% of Americans don't have a budget. That's more than 50% of the U.S. population that does not have a budget. And close to 50% rate themselves a C or lower in the financial literacy aspect. Okay, next slide. In the text, Adding Up the Benefits from Young, the importance of obtaining the proper skills can benefit in more ways than one. Financially, the main benefits include saving money, maintaining a budget, distinguishing the difference between wants and needs. While it also helps you become more self-disciplined, self-efficient, and establish more financial stability. In the picture here, this all falls into financial stability. You have budgeting, finance, cash, saving, counting, and funds, which all goes into learning how to manage your financial life. Okay, next slide. According to Personal Finance, unfortunately, financial literacy is not a standard to be taught in schools. Throughout schools, we have many classes that are standard and required, like gym, English. But unfortunately, financial literacy is not one of those mandatory classes. But there are many self-help options. Now more than ever, we can rely on the internet for resources. It has brought more tools for managing money, including budgeting apps and more. Aside from online, there's also many books, videos, video games, and more on the topic that you can learn about. Here are some of the investing apps, budgeting apps that they have. One of the ones that I personally use myself is Acorns. How that works is you basically link your credit card to the app, and every time you spend money, it rounds up the next dollar and invests it. So for example, if you're at the store and you buy a bottle of soda, and it's $1.98, that 98 cents, they'll round it up to $1, invest that in stocks, and you create your own portfolio. So you're basically investing from shopping. And then again, it's money, and we spend it every day. And then you also have some books here like Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Leverage of Education, Your Money of Your Life, Stack Your Savings, Paycheck to Paycheck. I personally read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he talks about the difference in dads that he experienced. His own personal dad was the poor dad, and he had his friend whose dad was the rich dad, and he looked at the difference in their lifestyles. And after deciding to go down the path of the rich dad, he talked about assets and liabilities. He talked about finances. He talked about learning how to manage your money better. So in conclusion, finance is what makes the current world we live in. Although many of us lack the knowledge, we can still learn and gain the skills to become better at managing and making it work for us. It is not just a one-time thing. It's a skill set that you can take with you forever and pass it on to others in generations to come. The advantage of this is that we have the resources right at our fingertips to make it happen. So let's make it happen.